Summertime is finally here. That old ballpark man is back in gear. Out on 49, man, I can see the lights. School's out and the nights roll in, man, just like a long lost friend you ain't seen in a while. Can't help but smile.
My name is David Greenwald. I'm 23 years old from Great Neck, New York. Basically, my baseball memories stretch from when I was a very young kid. Grew up a Mets fan, though I don't really remember it. Born in '84, so obviously 2 years after the Mets had their miracle season, winning in '86. Really became a Yankee fan when I was 9 years old. My father got tickets through a gentleman in his office. We sat third base line, about second level on third base side, and watched the Yankees with Danny Tartabull, Mike Gallego, the original number 2 before Jeter was there, and get their butts handed to them by the Detroit Tigers. I think final score was 6-0, and thus I was living the early life of a Yankee fan. Was struggling through the '70s with life without Mickey Mantle, and certainly the 23, 24 at that time World Series championships. Other memories that just stick out in my mind, Ken Griffey Jr. in the Kingdome in 1995, the last year Donnie Baseball played. I cried when Ken Griffey Jr. knocked in the, came in as the winning run as Edgar Martinez knocked him in with a bloop single into center field and sending the Yankees home in the ALDS. Little did everybody know, the next year the Yankees would come back, win the wild card, take the ALDS, the ALCS, and then win the World Series, and I pop fly out to Charlie Hayes on the third baseline. I happened to be at a bar mitzvah the night of the Yankees winning the World Series, and because the clocks had shifted in the fall with daylight savings time, it was all the adult males and then a bunch of us kids hanging out in the TV room at the bar mitzvah watching the game unfold, and then celebrating the championship after that, which was kind of cool. We're all just hanging out in there and we're trying to sneak a peek. Another baseball memory that comes to mind was back in 1998. I did something wrong. I blamed my brother for something, and as a result it was something that I had done, and as punishment I was banned from watching the entire World Series. Another World Series victory for the Yankees. I did end up getting the t-shirt and the hat afterwards, but watching those, not being able to watch those games and then reading about them in the paper, and certainly the internet wasn't at the point it was as it is today to be able to go back on and watch it or watch SportsCenter all the time. I didn't even have cable then. But, you know, just baseball history, I've always been the kid who sat there watching the games and be able to tell you Bank One Ballpark, now Chase Field, or AT&T, formerly Pac Bell, now formerly SBC. You know, names like that, fields with retractable roofs, and that a team has changed their uniform 3 times, most notably the Tampa Bay Rays, which, as I would agree with Paul Lucas, the great Uniwatch blog writer, the Rays had one of the best uniforms in baseball last year, and then they just changed it to a blank Rays uniform for both home and away this year. So pretty much terrible. The second part of the question that you guys wanted to know was dramatic moments in October. A couple that were mentioned. Certainly, I lived through Mitch Williams coming into the game, getting the ball knocked out for a 3-run home run with Joe Carter. I lived through that. I was able to see it. I was able to see the Cincinnati Reds in the early '90s win their championships. I wasn't alive knowingly with Kirk Gibson's home run. I did see the demise of my Yankees to the Red Sox, and I did see part of the Miracle Mets. But of all the postseason things, it's got to be Kirk Gibson's home run. If you look back at that home run, the most notable thing that you can notice about it is Vin Scully. In all the other home runs, whether it's Red Jackson 3 home runs in the World Series, none of them have the tie of the broadcaster really telling the story of what happened. Vin Scully pinpoints out everything. That Kirk Gibson just came out of the dugout. He wasn't going to play the entire game. And he comes out, goes up to the plate, bad knees, describing the whole build-up to it. And this is game 1. This isn't another game. This is game 1 of a series that the Dodgers, had they not won it, maybe lost because Eckersley was that dominant a closer at that time. But Gibson comes up, hits the home run at the right field, and the one thing that I noticed in watching it over and over again, and my friends told me about it, is you see the brake lights. And people have talked about the brake lights, but people are listening to the game in their car, slamming on the brakes because they didn't realize that a man was going to hit a 2-run home run to propel the Dodgers to a championship in '88. But Kirk Gibson willed the Dodgers with it, with his bad knees and all, and Vin Scully narrated the whole thing. In no other instance can you put a face on it as Kirk Gibson and then put the narration to it as well as Vin Scully did. So that's why I think of all the drama of October, that's the one that you remember the most, because you have the storyline and you have your protagonist and then the ultimate goal of triumph at the end, and you have the great narrator. It's like Star Wars and James Earl Jones. It wouldn't work without it. So that's why I think that's probably one of the more dramatic moments in October.